Ladies and gentlemen, the beat goes on.
Turn it up.
What you're about to hear may cause your speakers to explode.
Grant's Rock Warehouse is keeping it real in the field.
Get ready in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome to Grant's Rock Warehouse, and tonight we want to welcome Frank Secich back to the show. He is a founding member of the band Blue Ash. Power pop greatness, ladies and gentlemen. DC Tune Time's here as well, and it's another episode of little-known bands that you should know. Tonight, NAZZ, MOBY, GRAPE, and Jackie LOMAX. Let's do it.
Grant is trying to change the world one track at a time. Grant's Rock Warehouse is keeping it real in the field.
Hey everybody, we are live, and I've got Frank here with me. Frank is this is going to be a great show, because if you're into power pop, if you're into music history, if you just the stories this guy, we were just talking before we went live. Oh my God, just great stuff. Now DC won't be here tonight. DC is sick, so I'm going to have to handle it, and I feel bad because DC, Steve Baders is like from the same town that DC's from in Ohio, and it's just a travesty, isn't it, Frank?
Yeah.
DC can't be here.
Oh, I miss him. I was here. I'll tell some Bard story.
So hopefully I want to thank Frank for coming on. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight, because there's going to be a lot of great stuff. Frank has some stories about NAZZ. All right. I'm not exactly sure, because this I might go into overload today, but let's just get started. Let's just play a track, and then we'll talk about it. Frank has bought 3 bands to the show tonight: NAZZ, MOBY, GRAPE, and Jackie LOMAX. The whole point of this show is to turn you on to stuff. Now, people may come on and say, hey, well, I've heard of this band. Well, not everybody has. So anyway, Frank, I am just giddy. I am so glad you're here tonight. Anyway, NAZZ. What was it about NAZZ you wanted to share with the class today?
Well, I saw NAZZ at Manor Hullabaloo in Manor, Ohio. It was a teen club, and this had been late 1968 in December, and their album had just come out, and we all started getting our driver's license. I was only 17 and I was 16, and
16.
Yeah,
all
16.
Right.
So we drove up there in the Mother Goose, Great Hibiscus, and that, and I saw NAZZ at the Manor Hullabaloo Club. And just fantastic. Cyrus Theory opened, which was technically the Raspberries earlier, because of Eric Carmen on keyboards and singing, Wally Price.
All right, hold on, Frank, because this is you're cutting in and out.
Okay. Mike McBride.
Mike McBride was okay. He was in the Raspberries eventually.
Yes.
Right.
For their last album, Starting Over, and they were just fantastic. They actually did open my eyes, opening up for the NAZZ, and did it better than the NAZZ.
Well, how long had the NAZZ been? Okay, so they had time to prepare, but how long? How did you first learn about NAZZ?
Oh, we had like a grapevine going, underground grapevine. We would hear stuff. I would hear stuff from my sister Cindy, who was going to college in Cleveland at the time. She would tell me all about, MOBY, GRAPE, NAZZ, all these bands. Even she was the first one that ever about Cyrus. So she would go to the clubs like La Cave and hang out and knew all the bands in Cleveland. So that's how I got real insight to the Cleveland bands. So I wanted to see Cyrus Theory and NAZZ. I had already bought their LP.
So Cyrus Erie. Now I'm just curious. I know they put like a single out back in the day for like Epic. So that was Eric Carmen, Eric McBride, and I'm not sure who else was in the band.
It was Wally Bryson, Eric Carmen, Mike McBride, and I think McBride's brother played.
So Dave Smalley wasn't in the band.
No, Dave Smalley wasn't in. The only Raspberries that were in were Mike McBride and Raspberry, Wally Bryson, and Eric. And they did most of the covers. They did like The Who, and they did Small Faces. You couldn't tell the difference in the records. You know, they would do Issue Park or 10 Soldiers. It was phenomenal. One of the
So
best-
would Eric sing like who was like the main vocalist? Was Eric the main vocalist, or did he?
Eric was the main vocalist, yeah, and he played keyboard. So I mean, they would do stuff like Whiter Shade of Pale and that. You couldn't tell the difference in the record. They were good. They actually opened up for the Jeff Beck band that fall too, and I saw them at Minnesota Blue. And Jeff Beck had told them they were better Moody Blues than the Moody Blues were.
Better than Jeff Beck?
Yeah. The Jeff Beck group with Rod Stewart, Mick Wallace.
So when you went and saw Serious Erie, I'm just putting you back. You were like 16. You'd go see these bands. Did you, when you were there, when you were like I know we haven't even talked about NAZZ yet, but your life. I'm sorry, Frank. I am just totally fascinated. If I could have lived in that era, I would have. So so when you went and saw Serious Erie, did you look at like Eric Carmen or Wally or any of the band members and just go, my God, these guys are just like.
Yeah, we thought they were great, and I thought the Cyrus Erie way better than the Raspberries ever were. You know, they were just a phenomenal band, and we went to see them quite a bit. And I think they even played out some Doors concert in 1968 in August up in Cleveland. They were playing outside the trailer truck. Yeah, so we got to see them quite a bit, and they were amazing.
Oh, crap. I love it. But so Serious Erie did better than NAZZ. Did you, when you saw NAZZ, did you see anything that, look at what Todd Rundgren did with his career. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, not like he had a lot of commercial success, but artistically, what Todd Rundgren brought with his solo career, with what he brought with Utopia. I mean, was there anything back when you were seeing NAZZ back in the day that you looked at that and go, well, that Todd Rundgren guy is pretty talented?
Yeah, I thought right away. When Blue Ash got together in 2003, we got the original band together and played the International Pop Overthrow when the Around Again thing was coming out. We played the in Philadelphia, and on the same bill was Stookie Antoni, who was the lead singer in NAZZ. So we had a great time. We hung out the whole time. It was a lot of fun again. He passed away a few years ago, I think 2023. But he was a great guy, on a great show. It was great seeing that. But right away, we got Todd Rundgren, and we loved the NAZZ album. My band, Mother Goose, we covered Open My Eyes. We covered Wildwood Blues, and Open My Eyes. We covered a lot of that. And we had a lot. And that was a good night of NAZZ area on stage. So it was a cool night.
All right, well, let's play NAZZ. Oh, shit, I haven't even talked to anybody in the chat. Oh, my God. My God. Because you're
like a crazy old man about the NAZZ and Jackie LOMAX bunch, but it'll be fine.
Oh, my God. Oh, people are in the chat, and I haven't said anything. Ken White is here. Thanks, Ken. NAZZ, 100%. Hot Garbage is here. Hey, Bobo and Ken. All right. Who else? Oh, we've got Michael's here. Howdy do, folks. Todd R. Yes, 100%. Hot. Jay, nice to see you. I'm so sorry for not talking to anybody in the chat. I'm just sorry. Frank's on here. I just get all worked up because, well, we're having a little bit of intermittent audio, but you guys just listen. It's all good. Let's see. What John says, Frank is the kind of guy who would love to see his vintage stereo component system. A real vinyl record man. I don't know about his system. He's probably a purist. Woody's truck stuff.
I hardly listen to CDs anymore. I love vinyl. I don't have a vintage system anymore. I just have a kind of a hookup that I put together, my son helping with. But I love the sound of it, and I still collect records. Still spend way too much money on records.
I'm CDs are fine with me. I don't.
Yeah, I like CDs too, but I love the big record.
Now, come on, Marlon, calm down. For goodness sake, Frank's been on the show before. Greetings and salutations. Ken, we are in the presence of power pop greatness. Frank Secich is power. We haven't even played the NAZZ yet, and I'm giddy like a schoolgirl because I love talking to Frank, and I'm sorry. Frank, God, if I could trade places with you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know this, he was in the Stiv Bators band in the late 70s, early 80s. Stiv. The Dead Boys. He was in the band. He was a guitar player in the Stiv Bators band. This guy is, I'm sorry, Frank, if I'm blowing smoke up your ass, but you are the man. I'm sorry.
Steve and I go back a long way. We met when we were teenagers at teen clubs around Youngstown in the 60s. I was actually the first guy that ever brought him on a proper stage. And
so you are the one that brought him into the forefront.
Yes, he a friend of mine. We'd go see bands. He was a singer and he played harmonica. And I said, okay, we'll get a pickup band. And so I got Steve Acker, who was up in Law on MC, great guitar player last year. But and Crumbacher, who ended up with Benatar. Myron was her drummer the whole career. And Steve, who was going to be a singer and a harmonica, only he didn't have a harmonica. He picked up his hand and make harmonica sounds, and it was amazing. So we did some Yardbird songs and I think a few Rolling Stones, Grey Cat Blues or something like that. Anyway, he threw a mic stand up at the end of the show, and it caught him in the head and started.
It caught him in the head?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Rubbing the blood on him. Then he takes a can of whipped cream out, starts shaking it in the crotch area, spraying it on the people. And this was just a pickup band outdoor thing. And I thought, wow, this guy, so this is pretty crazy. Anyway, they did a lot, and at the end, I ended up into the hospital to get 10 stitches in his head because he had his head open from the mic stand coming down. But that was his first proper time on stage. I think it was summer of '69, right?
Summer of '69. Good Lord.
Yeah. So that's how. And then we.
So was Stiv younger than you? Was he your age?
He was
what?
49. I was born in 1951, so he was 2 years older than me.
Oh, he was older than you.
Yes, older than me. But he was working in factories and stuff like that. Get little bands together. So after I left Mother Goose, he ended up in Mother Goose as the lead singer. And then they became more of a theatrical Alice Cooper's type show. If you see the movie, there was some old film I procured that where he's playing with Mother Goose and they have sacrificial bird and all this stuff on stage. And so part of the Sharon High School marching band. Yeah, we would have them for us quite a few times, either 30 or 40 times, Mother Blue Ash. And
wow.
71, 72, like that.
Okay, John Patterson's weighing in, Frank. He said, I thought that name Frank Secich looked familiar. I remember seeing it in a New York rock scene magazine.
Yes, probably with Yoko. Yes.
What year would that have been?
That would have been 1973.
All right. See, there you go, John. See, good memory. All right. Well, let's do this. Let's play a NAZZ track. I want to get everybody's opinion. Frank will talk a little bit about it. We're already 13 minutes in. We haven't played a song, but whatever. We could always get Frank back on here, too. I could just sit here and just talk to Frank about his life.
It's a crazy life.
It's a crazy rock and roll life. Anyway, let's play the NAZZ. We will circle around. NAZZ, Open My Eyes, 1968, ladies and gentlemen. And don't forget that Frank saw the NAZZ back in the day.
Yes.
So
Commander Hullabaloo in 1968 opening the Cyrus Erie opened up for him, which was
Cyrus Erie with Eric Carmen. God darn it, Jesus, I hate you. All right, let's play some NAZZ. Here we go.
Underneath your gaze, I was
nice to see you. Yeah, gotta love the flanging. There's a lot of flanging on this song. Hot Garbage says this cranks for 68. So what? So Frank, when you hear this, what does this like? What was it about this that you could? I'm just saying, what was it about this?
That guitar riff, that Rundgren guitar riff, that's a great riff. And right around that time, there was a lot of people using the phasing, the flanging. You had Pictures of Matchstick Man, Small Faces, Itchy Park. That was a big thing, and that was a main thing. I got to pull this up. This just came out. Shindig.
Okay, go ahead.
The year, and has a lot of good stuff there. There's raspberries in here. 8 pages on Blue Ash, my old band, which is here. So if you see this in the record store, pick it up. It's definitely worth getting. They do an annual bookazine every year, and they put all stuff from the early 70s, Mott the Hoople, Badfinger, Fleetwood Mac, Raspberry, Flaming Groovy, a lot of my old friends, and it's a great little thing to give you a lot of insight on Blue Ash. It shocked me. They got a hold of me about a month and a half ago and told me it was coming out, and I thought, oh, that's great. But when I
wait a minute, what's it? Really excited for that one. And Shindig said Starman. Excellent. Al has a question. Did Blue Ash ever play any shows with Big Star?
No, but we met them. Jim Kenzer and I did. They were playing in at Max's Kansas City in late '73, and Paul Nelson from Mercury Records took Jim and I backstage, and we hung out with them. It was real cool,
So you met Alex Chilton. You met 73. So was it the whole? Was it?
Yeah, I think it was the whole
band that was all four of them. Yeah.
And it sounded really good too. It was a fun night.
The thing that I always like about Alex Chilton is guitar sound, because he was playing a Strat, I think, from what it sounds like. But Frank, he was playing it with like flat wound guitar strings. And I've talked about this. I did a listening party. There's something, I know we're going to get geeky. Hold on. You got to let me get geeky for a minute. There is something about a Fender Stratocaster with those pickups with flat wounds. Look at Nowhere Man from the Beatles. Yeah. That whole guitar, those are flat wounds with the Strat. Of course, it's run through a lot of compressor. Steve Miller Band, Fly Like an Eagle. That's like a Strat with flat wound strings. There's something about the sound of those.
The Beatles on Nowhere Man, both John Lennon and George Harrison played Strats on that solo and played them together. And there's a lot of compression on it too, but there's one other trick that makes that guitar sound really good, and that's putting another mic right on the strings.
Oh, okay.
So you're playing through an amp, you're compressing the hell out of it, you're getting that sound, that ring sound, or the same
but there's
thing as, the beginning of September Girls.
Yes, Frank Saint kind of thinks September Girls has that sound.
Mic like a Shure P54 or something. Anything, any kind of mic like that. If you put it right on the strings, so you're getting that sound of the strings, and that you can play around with it. I use that sound on the Stiv Bader's Ghost Tour. They used for the movie of the Stiv, and I played with a room full of strangers who covered my song. That was my song, and I played that kind of a guitar on there. I used a little heavier tone on it with the compression and the mic on the strings, but that's a good little old trick. And of course, the tape flanging is just fantastic.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
Of course, there's a Blue Ash thing from 1970 in there with the flanging on it as well in the new album for Dinner at Mr. Billy's that's coming out any day now. So.
Well, before we go on to the next, see, this show's going to go forever, but I don't give a shit. Tell everybody what's coming out, because you've got a Blue Ash album in the works.
Yeah.
So
there's a Blue Ash.
Let everybody know so they know what's coming up.
There's a new Rarities Blue Ash album coming out, and it'll be out in a few weeks. It's called Dinner at Mr. Billy's. And Blue Ash had about 200 songs that never got released. We released about 40 of them, 44 of them in 2004, and Not Lame's label called Around Again was the album. Now this one's going to have like 15 songs on it on the album, an extra 2 for the CD. It'll be in 5 different colored vinyls on Peppermint Productions, where we did all of our original recordings, and the same guys are still running the place, and it's still a going concern. So that'll be out soon. And there will be 3 songs that we did in Philadelphia when we were 18 years old in 1970. And they're really, really cool. They were found recently at Drexel University about a year ago, and we went in and remixed those. So it's going to be a pretty exciting thing and pretty wild stuff. It also contains Jazel Jane, an old Blue Ash song that was featured in Amazon Prime series Daisy Jones and the Six, that was out a couple of years ago, and still a hit series on there. And it's in the first episode, and it's Blue Ash playing in the background there for about 40 seconds with Jazel Jane. That'll be on there, and a couple other little treats on there.
God darn it. I can hardly
And then
wait.
we've also done another Blue Ash album that's almost done. It's 90% done with new songs on it. And that's with me and Jim Kendra, the original lead singer, with the Deadbeat Poets, Pete Revere, John Corey, and John Halumik backing us up. And that's another band that recently is the Deadbeat Poets. So a lot out on
There,
Blue Ash.
Frank, there's a lot of shit in the pipeline with you right now.
Oh, yeah.
God, I love it. But we'll have Frank come back on when that I know the fog machine is running. I hit the fog machine and it went crazy. Well, I gotta have fog when we're doing these shows, because if I don't have fog, I don't feel good. But we will have Frank back on when that new Blue Ash thing comes on, so we can talk about it. Okay. We're at a good point. Let's play another NAZZ song. So we are going to play. This show is so loose, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to play another track, Wildwood Blues. So Frank, what about this song that you wanted to share with the class?
Well, my old band, Mother Goose, before Blue Ash, we used to do Wildwood Blues, and I would sing it. And I always loved doing that live. I thought it was a great song to do live. Cool guitars, had a great beat to it. But it's about Wildwood, New Jersey, where a lot of bands used to play on the shore and everything, so it's a pretty cool little song.
All right, of course, if you haven't heard it, we're going to play it, damn it, because that's what we're doing tonight. Wildwood Blues from NAZZ, Todd Rundgren in his infancy, and the greatness of Todd Rundgren still shines through. Here we go, Wildwood Blues.
Them old Wildwood Blues. Got them old Wildwood Blues.
We'll make sure Frank leans forward.
Wildwood Town. Some bad news. Got them
Thank you, Hot Garbage.
Wildwood Blues.
Frank is, ladies and gentlemen, Frank is the man. I'm sorry. He's the man. Stooky, yes.
By the sea, down baseball park. By the sea, looking like 1953. Festival soon. By the sea, look on it up.
always surprised how heavy this track is.
Oh, it's a good song to do live.
Oh. Al's coming in with like a Blue Cheer vibe, a little bit of Blue Cheer maybe.
Yeah.
That's true, Bob. That's the first song you wrote. I would say 100% that Hendrix had some influence on NAZZ at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know, Todd did what 6 was a 9. Todd loved Jimmy. You know that there was a lot of influence from, you know, Hendrix on Todd. Mm-hmm. Here we go. John Patterson says, Frank is a true rock and roller in his purest form. I can see it in his eyes, unmistakable. Yes, 100%. John also asked, I know, Frank, we've asked you about this before in some guitars. Do you still have any of the guitars from back in the old days?
No, not really. I have a Telecaster 6-string, and I have a Fender Tim Armstrong 12-string that I use a lot when I do solo shows and book signings and that, and just play with the 12-string. And that's about it. That's all I have.
What happened to those Rickenbackers you had, like with Stiv?
Yeah, I had Rickenbackers back then, but got it stolen.
Stolen,
like,
man.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it happens.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Anyway, holy crap. So Wildwood Blues, Blue Ash used to play this? Or was it Blue Ash that played this?
No, this is Mother Goose before Blue
Mother
Ash.
Goose played it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that Stiv was in after I was in. So.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, I was going to say, and since we're keeping this loose, if anybody has any kind of questions for Frank, we're just keeping it loose, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, throw it out.
I
I'm
love
trying
Frank.
to read here, but it's so small on my thing. My eyes aren't that good.
Tipping is fun is what Bob. I can read it for you, Frank.
Okay.
He said tipping is fun, which I'm not sure what that means, but cow tipping, taking cows when they're asleep and tipping them. Is that what you're talking about?
I actually wrote a song about that. The Deadbeat Poets did. Concrete Cows of Milton Keynes, about the cement cows in England, and that they were too heavy to tip. It's kind of a psychedelic thing, so we'll have to put that on someday.
Frank, West Coast Dave saying, never turn your back on your axe and always keep it close. Frank just laughs.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, shit happens. It's all right. All right, we're going to play. Okay, let's get to our we're at 31 minutes. We're good. Let's get to our next track. Now, Frank is bringing up the band Moby Grape. Now, I don't know how many people are familiar with Moby Grape, but the track Omaha off the debut album 1967, what was it about this that you wanted to turn on the class about? What was about Moby Grape?
It was just so different. And when they came out in 67, this is another one my sister had turned me on to. And they had the 3-guitar attack. And one of the guitar players was Peter Lewis, who was actually the son of Loretta Young, the famous actress from the 1930s and the 40s. Anyway, they had it. The first album was just fantastic. It's just chock full of great songs. I picked 2 of them to play here, Omaha and Fall on You. And then after that, they were more of a jam band and everything, and just didn't quite get that magic back. And this one never sold that well to begin with. One of the great things, though, our Blue Ash guitar player, Bill Bartlin, when he was 16, he saw Moby Grape at what was the famous festival up in California where Jimmy Hendrix.
Where Hendrix was playing?
Yeah.
Oh, for God's sakes. Oh, what year was that probably?
It was the one that the Mamas and
Oh,
Papas.
was it Monterey?
Monterey, yeah, at Monterey. I'm sorry.
So he was at Monterey in '67?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Moby
No
Grape
way.
played there, and Cupid was out there, our guitar player, visiting his relatives, and went to the festival for 2 days and saw Moby Grape there and all the other bands. So that's pretty cool.
Well, what did he say about,
history
what
there.
did he tell you about the festival? Because, think about it. Without Monterey, we would not have Woodstock.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have what we had in Monterey.
Yeah.
Don't forget that no one had ever heard of Hendrix at that
Nope.
point.
Yeah,
And
nobody
when
had
he
heard of
came
him.
out,
he had the time of his life. He just it really blew his mind. And he always had that West Coast influence, that whether it be Buffalo Springfield Birds and Moby Grape, he always had that in a little more than I did. Mine was more of the British Invasion with the Kinks and the Yardbirds.
Me
and,
too,
and,
yeah.
those bands like that. But the Who. But he loved the West Coast. So that we were a good songwriting team because we kind of have a blend of all of that together.
But I'm just going to take you back to when you were a kid. You were like probably 16 or something. But when you first, I know we're all over the place, but people expect it. I'm sorry. I've got you on this show. I have to ask. When you were a kid and you heard Hendrix, what was your first thoughts when you heard Jimmy? Because, you hear a lot of things like Paul McCartney.
The first one, Are You Experience, is still one of my fave albums of all times. And that's another one where there's not a bad song. There's not a bad note on that album,
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's one of my go-to ones I play regularly still.
But when you heard Jimmy or any of his guitar playing, being a bass player, guitar player, did you listen to it and go, oh my God, did this guy just get dropped off from outer space?
Yeah, pretty much that was the thing, I was a big Jeff Beck fan and got to know Jeff Beck pretty well, through different ways, met him a number of times. And I love Jeff Beck, but I loved Hendrix even more. And I just thought Hendrix was all over Clapton. I just thought he was just blowing him away with what he was doing,
Yeah. Well, you've heard that story where they went, Clapton saw him play, and Clapton thought, oh shit, what can I do now?
Yeah.
But Clapton and his approach is totally different than what Jimmy was doing, or Jeff Beck. They were all,
Jimmy was just in the right place at the right time for the right thing. He just nailed it.
I'll hang for 5 minutes. Figure a lot of folks know Moby Grape, but necessarily listen to them much. All right, Webb. Well, go mow your yard. Listen, my friends. Anyway, let's play some Moby Grape, kids. And we do want to hear from you if you haven't hit it. Tyler! Man, where have you been? We've been holding up this show for you, but we're going to continue on. We've got Frank Secich here from the band Blue Ash, the Stiv Bators band. He is musical royalty. We love Frank here in the Warehouse. And I feel bad that DC couldn't be here tonight, but he is under the weather. But we will carry on like we always do. Marlon says that Clapton's best stuff was with Cream. What's your thoughts on that, Frank?
Yeah, I would say so too. Cream and maybe John Mayall before that.
Yeah, there you go, Marlon. Someone to agree with you on something. Finally, That's all I'm saying. Wait a minute. Whoa. Rest in peace, Steve Cropper from the Blues Brothers. Booker T passed away.
Somebody just sent me that.
Oh, I didn't hear anything about it. Well, we're announcing it here in the Warehouse. I'm sorry to hear that. Because Steve Cropper, Telecaster sound, what a player. Come on, right?
Yeah, really.
Jesus. Al's saying that Clapton's best was with John Mayall. I do have a story. We're going to run late. I saw John Mayall probably 3 years ago, playing in Columbus at a club. And I mean, how old was John Mayall for? John Mayall was a lot older than any of the other British invasion bands at the time. I'm not putting John Mayall in the British invasion, but I'm just saying he was much older than a lot of the other, band leaders and guitar players. Well, this is really sad because I saw him play, and basically, I think he had. I'm no physician, but I think he was in advanced dementia because he would play a song and he knew the song just like you wouldn't believe it. I mean, perfect. Then he would stop and then he'd start playing the song again. And his band leader would always come over to him and go, "All right, John, we're going to play this song." Wow. So the band leader kept him totally in line, but he really didn't know. I don't think he knew where he was. It's very sad, but I mean that muscle memory that John had from playing all these songs for all those years. He played them without, he was playing keyboards. He played them without any errors at all, but it was just a little kind of sad because I didn't know anything that he was ailing in that way,
I saw him open up for the Moody Blues in Argent at the Allen Theater in Cleveland in 1970. He was great. He was had a one-man band guy with him too, played drums and stuff, and he just played. It was pretty cool. It was fun.
So, Marlon, did Glenn Campbell have a situation? Well, I know he had dementia, but would he go out on stage and play, but they'd have to kind of, "Hey, Dad, you need to play this song"? I don't know. Whatever. Let's play Omaha. We will reconvene. We're keeping it loose here.
Sounds
We're
good.
keeping it loose. Omaha by Moby Grape. Here we go. All right. So they had a similar situation. Okay. Darn it, that is so good. Frank, did you ever see Moby Grape back in the day?
No, never did. I wish I would have, but never did have the chance to.
I'm not even sure how much they ever toured. I don't know how much they ever really toured.
Probably not much. They're probably pretty much West Coast. I don't ever remember them being anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't either. Did you ever hear the Skip Spence solo album?
Yes.
Or,
yeah.
What's your thoughts on that? Did you like that?
Pretty good. That's with Or on it. Is that
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah. I like that. I didn't like the Grape Jam and all that. I just thought it was just getting into too much, noodling. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm a big fan of the band. Big fan of Skip Spence.
Skip was the drummer for Jefferson Airplane on the debut album. That is true. Oh, well, here we go. Starman's coming through. My dad saw Moby Grape a few times. Drove his father's station wagon alone to Long Island to see them for their first concert on the East Coast tour. So was that Starman? Was that like 67, I guess? They have one song where you have to change your record player to 78.
Yeah, naked if you want to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Checking in, Song Archivist. Love Moby Grape. Thanks for checking in, Archivist. Appreciate it. Psycho's here. Everybody's here. I appreciate everybody tuning in because we do have royalty here tonight in the warehouse. Oh, go ahead. Is that the first? That's the first album.
Yeah.
Is that like an original pressing? What is that?
No, that's a repress of that. It doesn't have the finger on it. They took the finger off, airbrushed it right away. I used to have one of those, but I sold it down through the years.
Yeah, whatever. You know what? I was looking on Discogs today because we were doing this show, and when they first pressed that first album, they did a poster.
Yes.
There was a poster, and it had the finger on it too.
Yes.
I just think it's funny that they never caught that. Why did they? I don't know. Maybe they didn't think about it. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Starman said, yeah, my dad was about 20 and was willing to do anything to see them in person in case they never came back. Luckily, he saw them in the summer of 67 in San Francisco with home base advantage.
Nice.
Awesome. Good for you. I have the album, but not the poster, though. So, Psycho, you have the album with the finger? So, I don't know if the stereo version or the mono version, I don't know, probably both did. Checked out Jackie LOMAX today. Wow, it's really cool stuff. Well, we're getting to Jackie. Let's go ahead and play another. Let's go ahead and play another track from Moby Grape. We're going to play the track Fall Onto You. So what was it about this track, Frank, that you thought? What was about this?
We used to do this in the band, too. And you know who did a great version of this live was the Human Beings. They used to do Fall On You, and it was fabulous live.
Weren't the Human Beings from, where were they from? They were from Youngstown, too.
Yeah.
Would you say that they were the Youngstown band that probably had the most impact? I mean, they had a couple of hits.
They definitely were. When we were kids, we all idolized them. Baders, everybody. The guys from Left End, we just idolized them. And I still talk to Ting Marklin every once in a while. He might even be listening in tonight.
So what was it about the Human Beings when you were a kid? What was it about them?
Nobody But Me.
Yeah.
Ting invented that. He had a Rickenbacker 6-string, and he would hit a D chord on the 5th fret bar chord and lean the headstock into his dual showman and hit that Rickenbacker, and that's the exact sound of that. What that is. So every time you hear that on a major sporting event, and they play that in movies all the time, it was in Kill Bill everywhere. It's in so many movies. That's Ting Marklin that invented that with a Rickenbacker and a dual showman, that sound. That was cool.
So the Human Beings back in Youngstown and that, so they were like, I'm just going to assume that they were like the band at that time in Youngstown.
Yes, they were. Yeah, they were just reeked with coolness. I'll put it that way. They were just so cool, and their records were great. Their live shows were great, and they just looked amazing. And sounded amazing.
Mm-hmm. Well, that track the hit was great. Psycho says Glass Harp. There's a band I haven't heard in a long time. Frank's going to pull something out.
I got it right here. I've got everything.
Go ahead, pull it out. Okay, the glass harp.
This is the first thing they ever recorded. They did this in 1968 before Danny Pecchia was in the band. Steve Markland was the bass player, and drummer was still the same, John Safara and Phil Kagi. But this album is a little more psychedelic than what you're used to from Blue Ash. Not Blue Ash, Glass Harp. They put this out on Peppermint Productions about a year and a half ago, and you can get it through Get Hip. It's a wonderful album. And Phil Kagi's on the top of his game. That was the first thing they ever did. And it'd been floating around as a bootleg forever, but I always thought it was the best thing they ever did. And that Peppermint that's doing the Blue Ash stuff is put this out too, because they still had the tapes from back in the late 60s there.
All right. I'm going to have to check it out. I have not heard that.
Yeah.
Marlon's got a question. James Gang from around there. James Gang were up in Cleveland and they were up north. Did you ever cross paths with Joe Walsh?
Yes, they played in Youngstown all the time. They played regular Wednesday nights at the Freakout in the late 60s. You could go and see them for like 75 cents or $1 or something like that. And they were always fabulous. They played a lot around here. Champion Roll Arena, all the teen dances, and got to see them a lot. So they were fabulous. Even when I was a big fan when we toured Spain with Blue Ash in 2016. A couple of the gigs I wore James Gang T-shirt on stage, so they were really, really, really good. And
so
a couple of the guys were fans of Blue Ash too later on, which was kind of cool.
So when you were, God, just to be in that era, I just envy you. But could you see something in Joe that you could just tell that? If you listen to a lot of that James Gang, the guitar parts on there, Frank.
But he was actually in a band called the Measles before that, and they used to do "And Your Bird Can Sing" by the Beatles. And he could play both guitar players at the same time, which is freaking impossible. But
I don't know how you would do that.
I thought I was the only one that ever saw that, but Steve Acker, who was my buddy too, he remembered that too. He could do that, which is insane.
Here we go. Psycho says, Joe Walsh with the Measles did 2 tracks on the first Ohio Express album.
That's great.
I did not. Psycho, I didn't know that. I had no idea. Cropper co-wrote In the Midnight Hour, Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. Freaking one great songwriter. Come on.
Yeah, really.
West Coast Dave goes, damn, I was born way too late. Frank has seen all the cool, when I joke with all the young kids saying that I've seen all the cool bands, Frank really has seen all the cool bands. That's all I'm going to say.
I saw everybody except the Beatles. I wish I would have seen them, but I didn't. I saw Dylan on his first Electric tour. That was my first concert in 1965 at Cleveland Music Hall with the band who were the Hawks then backing him, which was an amazing show. Best concert I've ever seen in my life to this day. But I saw quite a bit of the Stones earlier and stuff. So a lot of people.
Al says Frank is a legend. He's my idol. I swear to God. Damn it. DC must be just dying because I could only imagine what the show would be like if DC was here. I'm trying to keep it together. All right, Frank, did you see the Jaggers?
Yes. They were great. They used to play in Geneva on the lake. They played at a regular spot there, the Cove, I think. And the Poppy, who was Danny Pecchio for Glass Harp, he was in that before that. This is 1968 when my band, Mother Goose, we played at the only teen place on the Strip in Geneva on the Lake, which was the Electric Zoo. So we got to know all the bands that were playing there. The High Guys played at the Sunken Bar, but at the Cove it was the Jaggers, and they were great. I remember when Blue Ash played around Pittsburgh a lot, their drummer used to come and see us all the time. He was a big fan of ours and always would hang out and stuff. So,
oh, God darn it. Jesus.
Yeah, great band. They had a cool record too.
Okay, here we go. We got questions galore.
Yeah,
if
fire
Frank,
away.
go ahead. We're good. If we need to, are you good on time? Because if we go a little long, are you good?
I'm fine. I just want to plug a few things. This is Steve Vader's 2 Spanish albums.
Go ahead. Talk about that first, and then we'll take John's question. All right, go ahead.
Disconnected album. I did liner notes for it on Monster album, Monster Records in Spain. Great reissue, 180 vinyl, and this one's called "Pop Goes the Weasel." And I did liners on that, and that just came out, and it's selling really good over Europe. This stuff still keeps coming out everywhere, so it's kind of nice having all these reissues and Blue Ash stuff coming out. But yeah, pick up the Vader stuff is pretty cool, and that's about it right there. I can show more later on, but yeah, go ahead.
All right, we'll show more later. Anyway, John's got a question.
Sure.
If Frank is from Ohio, did he ever cross paths with Eric Singer?
Who is it?
You mean Eric Singer from the Kiss drummer? I don't know. Which Eric Singer are we talking about?
Name. Sorry.
Donnie Iris was in town, got a Jaggers LP signed even. Yeah, because Donnie's still out there doing it. He's still out there touring.
Yeah, cool.
I think they just played here in Columbus like probably 6 months ago.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, he's had some health issues, but then I think he's back out.
Yeah, cool.
All right, well, let's take a brief. We're going to take a brief. Let's play Fall on You from Moby Grape, and then we'll circle back around with Frank.
Sounds good.
1967, the debut album. Let us know what you think, everybody.
John, would you do me one favor just for me? Play that rhythm that you play in the bridge all the way through the tune. Don't tack 'em, tack 'em, tack. Just try that. All right, you know what I mean? Just try driving from the top to the bottom, man. Just make the cuts.
This is on that set. This has got like
But it lifts right off the ground in the bridge.
all this up front before they play it.
You get into a groove and it drives like a motherfucker, and that's where it's at. Okay, stand by. This is 21. All right, from the top. Good. All right, from the top. Bop, 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 bop. That's where it's at. From the top. 22. Introduction shit.
Damn, you cut off all that upfront studio banter. It's a short song.
Yeah.
Well, you were mentioning when you heard this stuff back in the day, you were kind of blown away by it. Now, when we hear it today, like in the modern day, I'm going, well, yeah, it's great. But what was it? I'm just curious, Frank, when you heard it back in the day, what was it about it that was so much different than anything else that was going on then?
I like the beat a lot with it, and I like the sound of the guitars. I like the 3 guitar attack. You know, it was kind of cool. It was different. You know, like when you're playing the intro of Omaha or something like that. It's a kind of a different approach that wasn't seen back then. There weren't many bands with 3 guitars.
There were no bands with 3 guitars as far as I know.
Exactly, you're right. Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. Let me think about it. Well, you had you had Buffalo Springfield's the only one that I can think of.
Yeah, really. Yeah, probably. Yep.
That would probably be it. But I think I think Buffalo Springfield's approach was a little bit different. Maybe not, because you did have Neil and Steven.
Reminds me a lot of the first Grateful Dead album, in a way.
I think so. I can hear that.
Vocals were approaching. I just really liked the sound of it, and I liked every song on that album. There was some great stuff on that. 805 is a great ballad. You know,
it's too bad that Columbia kind of dropped the ball, because they released it, they hyped it up too much.
Yeah,
they released like every track on the record was a single.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, yep.
Yeah, they kind of ruined it for them, and I don't think that Moby Grape ever recovered.
And there was a lot of stuff coming out that summer. You know, I mean, you had everything. Sgt. Pepper, it just went on and on. You know, there was millions of records out great records that summer. So it got lost in the shuffle.
Okay, I'm going to ask you this since you brought up Pepper. Because when you were a kid, you heard Pepper. What were your thoughts when you heard that?
Well, I still have the same thoughts I had when I heard it. And it's a weird thing that I think about it. I think it's either the greatest album ever made or maybe the shittiest album ever made.
All right. Why? Go ahead and explain.
Because there was such greatness in it and the sounds and everything, and it did things that were never done before. But there's a pretentiousness about it that just rubs me the wrong way at certain times, you know? And I'll put it on and I'll go a year and not listen to it. Then I'll listen to it. This is really great if I'm in the mood for it. Then I won't. It's the only Beatle album that does that to me. My favorite Beatle album is Rubber Soul and Revolver second. And Sgt. Pepper would have to be way down the list, you know? Even though I sometimes I think it's the greatest album in the world.
Do you think
that's just me?
Well, do you think that I'm just throwing this out there. This is a discussion, whatever. Anybody can weigh in on this. Do you think that maybe at the point the Beatles thought that they could, at this point in their career, they could do no wrong? I don't think, I'm not even sure if they've really thought about it. I just think that they just did what they did. But do you think that maybe they thought that we can just do anything and anybody would buy it? I don't know.
That's part of it too, but I think if they would have taken When I'm 64 and maybe Fixing a Hole off of that album and kept Strawberry Fields Forever and Penny Lane, it would be the greatest album of all time. You know?
So I don't have any problem with those tracks at all.
First, and then they just let it go because they put that single on. But that's my favorite single of all time by anybody.
Tyler says Rubber Soul is 60 years old today. Great.
Yeah.
That makes me feel wonderful.
Yeah, he's right. That's true. And I like the American version better because I can't hear the record without, I've just seen the face starting the record. So I love the American version. And I feel the same way about Between the Buttons by the Stones. I like the American version.
All right. Al's agreeing with you 100%.
Oh, thank you.
The thing about... Well, a lot of people, I know we're on a tangent. I don't give a shit. A lot of people bitch about those Dave Dexter albums because, you know, they bastardized what the Beatles originally intended. But let's really look at this real quick. What he did with Rubber Soul, it made it a folk rock. Basically, it's a folk rock album. Phenomenal. All those songs fit together. It's probably, I'm going to go, there is no any bad Beatles. I just want to say that.
Yeah.
But I kind of agree with you, Frank. It almost works better with those added, you know, Girl and all those tracks on there. They fit together better. Than what the UK album is.
The sequencing is unbelievable. And the same with Between the Buttons. And was a funny thing because I've always thought it's been one of my top 5 albums of all time, Between the Buttons by the Stones. And I just read recently where that was Brian Wilson's favorite album, which is crazy. And My Obsession was his favorite song on there, which is insane. But I can see it. I know why, because it was such an innovative album. I've even had a conversation with Andrew Lou Goldham about it when he was a DJ at Little Stevens when the Debbie Poets.
Oh yeah, he was on Underground Garage.
Told him I always thought that was the best thing they ever did, and Aftermath second. He goes, "Why do you think that?" And I said, "Because I think that they were just being English lads for the first time, not, country imitators or rhythm and blues imitators that wanted to do cover bands. I think for the first time in their career, they were themselves and writing songs about themselves. And I thought that was a fantastic period for them.
Yeah, my buddy Keith, who passed away several years ago, he always thought Between the Buttons was a great record. I know some of the reviews for Between the Buttons, they kind of poo-pooed it a bit, but I didn't think anything was wrong with it.
Keith, I've read where Mick Jagger hates the album, and I've read where Keith Richards, it's his second favorite album the Stones did after Exile on Main Street.
See, I believe that.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Starman says, I'm always torn. The U.S. album is fun, but Rubber Soul without Nowhere Man, If I Needed Someone, and Drive My Car hurts. Yeah, but I don't think it hurts.
We had Yesterday and Today, though, when we were kids. That came out 2 months before Revolver did, so we got those 3 songs. Dr. Robert and Your Bird Can Sing.
They were early.
Yeah, we heard them early, and they're different kind of mixes too. But no, we always had that. So that was always one of my favorite albums. Yesterday and Today.
Yeah,
of course, they don't have that or anywhere else, but that was an amazing album.
I don't have any issues with that, because whatever. And the other thing is, there was some great stuff that they did. We would not have had Magical Mystery Tour adopted by, the UK if it wasn't for what they did here in the States.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, look at how strong Magical Mystery Tour is with all those extra tracks. It's a perfect record. It's a perfect record. Stuff.
I mean, like I said, I love everything. I even love the Beatles Again thing they put out with Hey Jude and at the end of their career with Rain and all that. Should have known better. That's a great album. I still have that. Play that a lot.
Byron says Grant is
and all that stuff on there.
I love it. Grant is breaking his rule about not talking. Well, I'm talking about it with Frank, though. It's a little bit different than me talking to the Beatles with Webb.
Yeah. Well, they'll segue us into what's his name then? Jackie Lomax.
Well, let's play some Jackie Lomax. Let's talk about it real quick. All right. Again, our guest here is Frank Secich, Blue Ash, the Stiv Bators band. He is a music. I'm just giddy. I love Frank. So anyway, Frank, what was it about? You brought up Jackie Lomax. You wanted to share this with the class. What was it about this?
Well, it was released, the first single, the same day, I guess, as Hey Jude, and Those Were the Days by, Mary Hopkins. And it kind of got lost in the shuffle. It's a great song. George Harrison wrote it. And the people that play on it are Eric Clapton, Ringo, Paul McCartney's on bass, Billy Preston's on that album. There's so many great people on it, And he was the Liverpool guy that Brian Epstein had signed, and he was in a band called The Undertakers in the British Invasion era, and they had one minor hit in England, and then they brought him to Apple, when it was there, and McCartney produced some of the stuff, so did Harrison, and the first single was Sour Milk Sea that George had written. My old band Blue Ash, we bought this album when it first came out. We did like 3 songs off of it.
Yeah, when I listened to, we're going to play Sour Milk Sea, but man, you can tell that this is a George Harrison song.
Yeah.
It is so blatant. Al says the Beatles should have recorded Sour Milk for the White Album.
Yes, they should have.
They should have, because it's great. Why don't we just play it? We will keep it interactive. I do want to thank Frank for being here. I want to thank everybody in the chat.
Yeah, thanks, everyone.
Everybody for supporting the Warehouse. This is what it's about. It's a community, and let's play Sour Milk Sea. Let us know what you think about it.
If your life's not right, doesn't satisfy you, you don't get the breaks like some of us do. Better work it out, find where you gone wrong. Better do it soon, as you don't have long.
So George.
Get out of Sour Milk Sea. You don't belong there. Get back to where you should be. Find out what's going on there. If you want the most from everything you do, in the shortest time, your dreams come true. In no time at all, makes you more aware. Very simple process takes you there.
Yeah, Not Guilty should have been on the White Album. Yeah.
Get out of Sour Milk Sea. You don't belong there. Get back to where you should be. Find out what's going on there. Looking for release from limitation. There's nothing much without illumination. Come fool around with every different cause. There's only one way really brings results. Get out of Sour Milk Sea. You don't belong there. Get back to where you should be. Find out what's going on there. Get back to where you should be. Find out what's going on there. Get back. Get back. Get back. Why don't you get back now? You don't belong here. Get out of here.
Do you, Frank? Do you know who was playing guitar on that?
That's Clapton on there. I could tell.
That's
I knew
Clapton
he was
playing
on
the
that
guitar
record.
part.
That's him in that solo. Yeah.
Jesus, I was
Yeah,
just
Nicky
thinking.
Hopkins too. It's amazing. The guys could just.
It's-
And McCartney, his bass playing's incredible on that. Yeah.
This is one of those CDs that I want to get, but I haven't gotten it because I know that these all got released like early 2000s something when they had that
Yeah, I got
Apple
it again.
reissue
I picked
campaign.
it up on a CD here. It's great. It's got bonus tracks on it. The stuff that McCartney did with him going back to Liverpool and that Thumbing the Ride. So it's
Yeah,
pretty
I
cool.
got to get that. Damn it, Jesus! I got the Ivy CD.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's cool too. It's all good.
Yeah.
I love it. So So back in the day, okay, I guess my question is, even me being old and decrepit, I still haven't. I knew who Jackie Lomax was. I was aware of the history, but I had never gotten anything. I never really paid much attention. But I'm assuming you heard this back in the day, correct?
Yes.
And
definitely.
what was it about it that drew you in? What was it about Jackie that you liked?
I loved his voice, and I especially thought it would be good. And Jim Kenzer and I both, because Jim could sing like that, had that great voice, and was perfect for him to do as a cover tune, And nobody else knew about that record, so we were doing stuff that wasn't, really popular. That wasn't on the radio, Jackie Lomax. None of it was, but to do it live, and it always went over really well live, especially New Day, which Jackie Lomax actually wrote. That's going to be the next one we're going to play.
Yeah,
he actually wrote that, and I always thought that was that could be a hit song today. It's such a great song.
All right, we're going to get to it. Starman says, I love those 90s Apple reissues more than the 2010s. Well, maybe I'm getting the years wrong. I don't remember this ever coming out on CD domestically only once, and it's the copy that Frank's got.
This is the 1991.
Yeah, 91.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they put out a slew of them.
Yeah.
The Ivies, Mary Hopkin, they put all those out. Now, I'm not sure about the 2010. Are you talking about the 2010 Badfinger ones? Starman, let me know. I don't know. The Ivies, Maybe Tomorrow is essential. 100%. You've got to have that Ivy CD. All right, well, let's play the other track from Jackie while we're on a roll. New Day. Let us know what you think. As we know, Frank, our guest here, is a big fan. Let's play it. We want to hear from you in the chat.
I'm gonna take all my loneliness, I'm gonna take all my pain and wrap them up inside my memories and never hear from them again. 'Cause there's a new day dawning.
Yeah, I dig this.
There's a new day dawning. There's a new day dawning. And I think it's gonna be alright. 'Cause I almost see the light of a new day. Hey, 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 hey. Got to throw away my protection.
I don't want to digipack
that no more. It's time to look out for perfection. I got to get outside my door. 'Cause there's a new day dawning. 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 And I think it's gonna be alright. 'Cause I almost see the light of a new day. Be careful what you say. It's in your mind, you've got to pay. You've got to find another reason for examining your life. Are you into treason, or is what you do?
The other thing I was thinking, Frank, is that the production on this record sounds really good.
Yeah.
There's a new day dawning. There's a new day dawning. And I think it's gonna be alright. I'm sure I can see the light of a new day. Hey, 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 hey.
I like the horns too.
There's a new day dawning. 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 There's a new day dawning.
Phenomenal.
Come on and let me hear you say. There's a new day dawning. There's a new day dawning.
See, Elliot, that is correct, but not the whole thing. You have to have the Ivy CD or the album for everything. we go. Starman's coming in with more information. It was while George was with Jackie in L.A. that George, oversaw the remastering of the American White album. Well, I did not know that.
That's cool. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Any Jackie is good Jackie, post Apple II. That's a good segue. So what's your thoughts on like Jackie Lomax post Apple? You like all that stuff?
Yeah, I like everything he's ever done, even back into the Undertakers. I just thought he was a phenomenal talent. And there's just so many guys that get lost in the shuffle, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
a lot of competition.
About 100 American and British bands that got lost like that had amazing talent.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, but I guess there's not room for everybody.
No, it's not. But it's cool that we have the records, you know, and we have the videos, and that's cool. They'll be around forever now in this age.
Oh, you mean that's
AI
my whole,
and
that's
forever.
my whole goal with this channel is just to shine light on a lot of these bands that. Because everybody talks about all these big bands all the time. Well, what about these bands that really never made it? That's what I'm fascinated with. Why they never made it. And there's so much great stuff, Frank, that is out, you know, that could be, just try to turn people onto it. That's what I like, you know.
You're segueing me in here, Grant. I'm gonna
Go ahead, Frank.
Okay.
Here, wait a minute. Let me make you big. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The Infidels, I produced their albums in the 80s, and Pete and both Johns were in the Deadbeat Poets with me. This is a new one they just put out. Absolutely phenomenal. Majestic Records, the Infidels, Never Forever. My buddy Zach Kime, who I've toured with from Pittsburgh, Battery Lane, fabulous. Keim. Gary Del Vecchio from Warren, Ohio. The guy responsible for being in Paul Nelson's office when Blue Ash got signed. He told him to listen to our tape, and that's how we got signed, because it was sitting on a bunch of tapes. Gary's a phenomenal musician. Check this out. It's on Writing Easy Records.
All right. I need that. Show me hey, Frank, show me the back of that record. What's the back look like? So that's on Writing Easy? Okay, yes. I got to write that down. Okay.
You will love it. Gary's a great guy. Still a good friend of mine. And I showed you the glass harp one. This one is from Peppermint Productions. It has all Youngstown people on it. Human Beings, Glass Harp, Blue Ash, Morley Gray, Ronnie Cunningham, the Banky Brothers. Phenomenal. This is on the Peppermint label on Bandcamp.
I've never seen that. I've never seen that.
And all colored vinyl and everything. Also, my books.
Yes.
Not that way anymore. And from 2023, Circumstantial Evidence, available everywhere around the world on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, even through Walmart and places like that. So a lot of cool stuff happening. And this one too, Want to Be a Teen Again on Cherry Red Records just came out. Has the Infidels on here. It also has Club Wow that I was in with Jimmy Zero, and Bader's Not That Way Anymore starts off the set.
Nice.
A lot of
See,
cool
I haven't
stuff
gotten that yet.
by my friends. The Sins from New Jersey, absolutely fabulous on Little Steven's Underground Garage. Cindy Dawson, Henry Cease, guitar player, great stuff. By Jim Gustafson Puba. I just bought this and got on stage with him at Record Store Day last April.
Oh, nice.
Phenomenal. Puba. And Blue Ash, of course, with colored vinyl. Reissued, no more, no less.
And look at wait a minute, that's even got the original Mercury logo on the...
Yes, they did it. It's from Europe.
Look at that. It's like authentic.
It's pretty cool.
Golly. So, all right, tell everybody before we wrap this up, Frank, tell everybody again what's in the plans for Blue Ash. You've got a new album in the works. You've got that new collection that's coming out. Just real quick, and then we'll wrap this up.
Blue Ash will have an album called Dinner at Mr. Billy's, featuring the first recordings we ever did in Philadelphia that were found at Drexel University. We remixed them. Earlier stuff from Peppermint. It'll be called Dinner at Mr. Billy's, the original band. It'll be out before Christmas in that area.
Okay.
I should be hearing something any day. They should be coming in.
Well, keep me posted because I want to
We've also done a new Blue Ash album with me and Jim Kenzer and the guys from the Infidels and from Debbie Poets, John Corey, John Lumick, and Pete Revere. We've got about 10 songs done. We need another 2 more, and it's pretty intense. It's pretty good. So,
oh, damn it. Well, I want to get you back on. As we get closer, I want you.
I'll get Kenzer on here too.
I want you and Kinzer on here to promote when we get closer. So just keep me posted. I do have one question. This is a good question from Marlon. Frank, did you guys ever play in a bill with Mahogany Rush, Amboy Dukes, or the Stooges? Go ahead.
All of them.
All of them.
We opened up. Blue Ash was the band that went on before the Stooges, February 9th, 1974, at the Michigan Palace, which was the last gig they played, and didn't play again for another 29 years. That's the Metallic KO show. Blue Ash went on right before them. We played with Mahogany Rush in Akron at a big festival at Chippewa Lake. And I forget where the Amboy Dukes were. No, we played with Ted Nugent, not Amboy Dukes. We were on tour and played a couple gigs with him, and he tried to steal our roadies.
Ted tried to steal your roadies.
Yeah, because his roadies were always quitting or something. So.
Well, Ted, high maintenance. They have to perform at a certain level.
Yeah.
If you don't perform, you're out. So I get it. Marlon is impressed. This is the first time Marlon's ever been in the comment section and being impressed by my show. It's amazing. I appreciate it.
Pick up the books. They're real cheap. A lot of stories about the Stooges and everybody else in these. So
I will put,
dig it.
Frank, I'll put the links to your books down below after we're done.
Yeah, cool. You can get them at Amazon anywhere in the world.
Okay. I'll put the links down there anyway. Okay. So West Coast Dave's going, you open for the Stooges? Holy crapola, I'm impressed. Well, you don't understand who we have on the show, West Coast Dave.
Chicago, too. Pretty crazy stuff.
So John Patterson says, thank you for a smoking show, Grant. I'm never disappointed. You and Frank have a safe week. Thanks, John, for coming in.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in and listening. And I miss our boy DC here.
Well, DC will be back when if you can, we'll talk. We'll get when the new Blue Ash thing comes out. We will reconvene. We'll get DC here because I know this is probably killing DC.
Yeah,
but we carried on.
We'll do it for sure.
All right. I want to thank everybody in the chat for attending. Thanks for keeping it interactive because the Warehouse, it's all about talking music. And everybody in the chat, I feel, is part of the experience. I want to include everybody. That's why we do live shows, because we are a community. That's the way I look at it. Frank, thanks for one of the best shows ever in the Warehouse.
Oh, thanks a lot, Grant. I have a good time with it.
It's all about having fun. It's all about the music. Frank, I will be in touch. You keep me, let me know if anything's that I need to know about.
I will, definitely. I'll keep in touch. Yeah, definitely pick up the Gary Del Vecchio, though. You will love this.
I'm going to do that tonight.
Okay.
God darn it. I knew I couldn't get out of a show without spending money. All right, everybody.
I'm just like you, Grant. When I get off here, I'm gonna put in a bid for the NAZZ Open My Eyes CD with the picture sleeve and a promo single. I saw that.
There you go. That's why I like you, Frank. That's why I love you. All right, everybody. We will see you. Keep it clean, everybody. And Frank, we will be in conversation. See you, everybody. Have a good one.
See ya. Good night.
Night, everybody.
Night.